accepting the so-called apology. Thank you very much. Any further submissions?
The hearing yesterday for a series of documents from Mr. Karim. The one was a two-page agreement with Mr. Maumela in relation to the mining venture. The one was the draft agreement that Ziggy had with Medicare 24. Then there were the details of the accountant who instructed that Mr. Matlala should pay Tamis, not Ziggy. And lastly, we wanted to hear back from him after he'd consulted with his attorneys in relation to accessing his WhatsApps from 2024, 2025 with Mr. Mokgotsi and Mr. Matlala. I wonder if we can just get a response on the record from his legal team in that regard.
Mr. Bana?
I think we can just ask, you can just go through it with the witness and you'll hear it from him firsthand.
Sorry, if we can go through the...
Yes, he hasn't been able to get the two agreements. He needs to go to Mafeking. He'll tell you the name of the accountant. I've forgotten the name. And he'll also tell you the position with his messages.
Thanks, Mr. Karim. Can we take them one by one, and can you just explain to me what the position is? The first is the draft agreement with Medicare 24.
Yeah, it's two documents. Medicare, we can deal with the two.
Okay, the Medicare 24 and...
Yeah, those documents and my gang. At the moment, my offices are closed because of the threats. So I have those documents. Once those threats just subside, my office is working remotely now. My people are working remotely. But those documents will be made available as soon as I get to Mafeking, as soon as it just comes down, maybe in the next week and a half.
Thank you. So that's both the Maumela agreement relating to Chrome Core and
Yes.
the draft agreement with Medicare 24.
Yes. Yes.
Then the accountant who advised you in relation to payments from Mr. Matlala.
My legal team will send an email to the instructing attorneys with the email address and the contact details. You can just send your request there.
Thank you very much. And then lastly, the issue of WhatsApps with Mr. Mokgotsi and Mr. Maumela in 2024 and 2025.
I've checked my iCloud. I don't do backups. I don't have any chats on my current cell phone from then.
So your WhatsApps for that period are not available.
I don't have backup, so they don't back up, and I changed my phone.
And would you give us your authority to approach Apple so that Apple can search on their backups?
I'll speak to my legal team about that, and they'll revert to you.
Thank you. When we left off yesterday, we were dealing with the payments to Mr. Maumela or to Lutaga for Mr. Maumela that were made by Tamis from the proceeds of payments from Medicare. Now, at the time that you entered, I want to stay with the issue of Mr. Maumela for a while. At the time that you started this business relationship with Mr. Matlala, I assume that you were aware that Mr. Maumela had been a business associate of Mr. Matlala.
At that point, he didn't disclose that to me.
No, but you'd read articles we discussed earlier that from, I think it was April 2024, you'd read articles about allegations in relation to Mr. Maumela and Mr. Matlala at Tembisa Hospital.
Yes, we never discussed those relations. He never brought Mr. Matlala up to me.
No, yes, but I'm asking, were you aware that there was a business relationship between the two of them?
At that point, I saw articles, but there was no direct link between them.
I see. So all you knew is what you had read in the press about them.
That's correct.
Did you, at any other stage, find out about business relationships between Mr. Matlala and Mr. Maumela?
When I concluded the agreement, or when we had the handshake or the verbal agreement with Mr. Matlala in June, around August, I then asked Mr. Maumela, look, you've never raised Mr. Matlala with me. Are you and Mr. Matlala associates? What is the issue? He then said to me, yes, we are. So I asked him, but you never told me this. He said, yeah, look, I don't think it was important for you to have met this man through me. And that was his stance. He said, look, I didn't want to introduce you to Mr. Matlala. I said, why? He just said, no, I didn't want to introduce you to Mr. Matlala.
At a certain point, Mr. Matlala must have established that you and Mr. Maumela knew each other.
Not that he told me off, unless Mr. Maumela discussed it with him.
Well, your Morgan sorted email suggests that he knows that you know who Morgan is.
Yes, remember, he then said, I must make a payment to Morgan Maumela.
And at that point, did he not know that you knew Mr. Maumela?
Well, he also played to me as if he didn't know that me and Mr. Maumela are friends.
So, from your perspective, someone was asking you to make a payment to a third party who, as far as you were aware, they regarded as a complete stranger to you. So when you were asked to pay Mr. Maumela, Mr. Matlala didn't give any indication that he knew that you and Mr. Maumela were friends.
No, between the two of them, and I observed this, they did not raise how deep their relationship was to me. They did not.
But Mr. Maumela was also calling you at the same time and pressurizing you to get Mr. Matlala to pay him. What was he saying in that regard?
No, he said he's asked this man to give him money, so this man needs to pay him this monies. He's aware that this man is going to pay me, and I should then please give him the money once I receive it.
So, but by this stage, this is after August 2024. It's well after August 2024. It's February 2025. So by this stage, you have discussed with Mr. Maumela that you're now in business with Mr. Matlala. And he said, well, I didn't think it was important for me to introduce you. Didn't want to introduce you to him. But he now, in February, starts calling you and saying, Mr. Matlala is going to pay you, you must pay me. Is that what happened?
They had an arrangement. Mr. Matlala, he asked to borrow money from Mr. Matlala. I don't know what it was exactly. But according to him, Mr. Matlala needed to pay him. Either money is owed or money is borrowed. I just can't remember what it was. But yes.
So you can't remember whether this was money that was being borrowed or money that was being paid out as an amount due to Mr. Maumela?
Yes, it's either a loan, I can't remember.
Can I take you to some other chats in relation to yourself, Mr. Matlala, and Mr. Maumela? Do you recall in January 2025, there was an exchange between you and Mr. Maumela, and Mr. Matlala, in which he asked you to check how far payment was?
Can we go to that document?
Yes, we can. The document is on page 4.
Page 4 of, okay.
File 1, the evidence bundles.
Yes.
And we went through this yesterday. you get called on the 30th of January by Mr. Matlala, "Salam, brother, can you please check with your guys how far is the payment?" You come back saying, "Checking." He says, and you say, "We'll revert." He says, "Okay, thanks." Next morning, you say, "Morning, they say payment is done. I'm waiting for the remittance." If we go at this point to page 538, that's file 2.
Sorry, I'm just struggling here. One
No
second.
problem.
Five,
538.
I'm on 414407.
Does your file not go to 538? File 2? Possibly in a supplementary file.
Yeah,
So at 538, we see that on the same day, the 31st of January, after you've said, "I'm waiting for the remittance," and in fact, after Mr. Matlala has responded, "Okay, I'll be waiting," and has asked you, "You're winning with the remittance," which was at 15:15 on the 31st of January. A minute later, he sends a screenshot of that chat to Mr. Maumela. You see that?
Yes,
This
I
is
see
this
that.
is his chat with Mr. Maumela.
yes.
And the date is the 31st and the time is 15:16:10. So he is copying his chat with you to Mr. Maumela.
I have no idea why you do that.
Well, let's go further. If we go back to page 5, you see 40 seconds after he sent the screenshot to Mr. Maumela, which ends with you winning the remittance, you winning with the remittance, you responded, "Not yet." He sent that screenshot at 15:16:10. You respond at 15:16:52, 42 seconds later. And then you say, "The lady and sisters paid. I'm just waiting for some proof." We go back to 539. And we see that after you have answered his question, "You're winning with the remittance," and you've said, "Not yet, the lady and sisters paid. I'm just waiting for some proof." He emails that chat to Mr. Maumela. So he's now emailed to Mr. Maumela an updated version of his chat with you.
Emailed or?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, yes.
WhatsApp. And straight after WhatsApping to Mr. Maumela at 15:29:23, we go back to 5. He says at 15:29:46, he says to you, "Okay, we'll see when it appears in the account."
Yes,
So he's having a conversation with you, and he is essentially copying that conversation as it develops to Mr. Maumela.
I see that, yes.
And you have no idea why he would be
I
doing that.
have no idea. It's the first time I'm seeing this. I don't know why I would take my chats and pass them over to Mr. Maumela.
I see. Let's look at a second instance of this. Can we go to page 11? And there we see at the top of page 11 on the 18th of March, at 10:22 and 10:23, there are calls from Mr. Matlala to you. And at 10:40, you respond saying, Salam, I'll call you at 12. And he immediately responds to you at 10:41, saying WLKM SLM, which I understand to be Wa alaikum salam.
Yes.
If we then go to 5:44, we see that as soon as he has said wa alaikum salam to you, he again WhatsApps a screenshot of that chat, which just shows 2 empty voice calls, Salam, I'll call you at 12, wa alaikum salam, to Mr. Maumela. And if we go down, we see at 10:41:43 there is an immediate response from Mr. Maumela. He calls Mr. Matlala back. You see that?
Yes.
Do you have any idea what you were discussing on 18 March 2025 that may have been of such importance that Mr. Maumela wanted to screenshot that exchange? Sorry, Mr. Matlala wanted to screenshot that exchange to Mr. Maumela, and Mr. Maumela immediately responded to the screenshot of what just says voice call, salam, I'll call you at 12. He immediately responded. Any recollection of what you would have been talking about on 18 March?
No, I don't know why he was sending Mr. Maumela my screenshots. I can't recall of anything important that we were discussing with Mr. Matlala.
Well, let me try to jog your memory. If you go to 5:43, you will see that almost immediately after your voice calls with Mr. Matlala, which were at 10:22, those voice calls that we just saw on the screenshot, a series of visitor codes to Zimbabwe Estate. Well, let's go, were WhatsApped from Mr. Maumela to Mr. Matlala. That help you remember anything?
No, I don't know. I don't know why he was sending him Zimbabwe. I've never been in, at this point, I was not even in Zimbabwe.
You weren't in Zimbabwe?
Yes, yes.
No.
But I don't know why he was sending him these.
No, he wasn't sending them to you.
Yes, he was
was
sending them to, yes, so it's
Mr. Maumela sends them to Mr. Matlala.
agreed, but I have no idea why these were sent.
Okay. Well, the evidence will be that one of these entrance codes that Mr. Maumela sent to Mr. Matlala immediately before those calls, those voice calls to you that were then screenshot and WhatsApped to Mr. Maumela, one of those entrance codes was forwarded by Mr. Matlala to General Cele and was then used by General Cele to enter the Zimbabwe Estate. So at 10:41, when Mr. Maumela WhatsApped, when Mr. Matlala WhatsApped Mr. Maumela your exchanges, saying that you would call at 12, it seems that they knew that Mr. Matlala was likely to be meeting with General Cele at the time. Was any of this discussed with you?
No, nothing. I know nothing about this. Any meetings, I knew nothing about this. Not at all.
You didn't know about that.
Not at all.
And in due course, you did call back at 12:28. We see that at 11. Go back to page 11.
Yes. Yes.
And you have no recollection of what transpired in that call.
I can't recall what we were talking about, but
And no one mentioned anything about General Cele to you.
I knew nothing about this meeting.
But what it does appear is that Mr. Maumela and Mr. Matlala knew that Mr. Matlala would be meeting with General Cele at the time that you were likely to call. And they didn't seem to make any attempt to stop your call. Have any comment on that?
Yes, but it was definitely not related to General Kelly. I did not know about this meeting. Not
You
at
didn't
all.
know about that.
No, I did not know about this meeting.
Let's go to another issue in relation to Mr. Maumela. In your witness statement at page 5, paragraph 47, you talk about that interdict.
What paragraph?
Paragraph 47, page 9 of the witness statement.
You said 5.
I apologize. Page 9.
Page
Page 9.
file 1.
Perhaps,
Of the witness statement part.
sorry, Mr. Shaskalsin, I see from the heading it's a totally different subject. May I just ask 2 or so questions around the issue of the payment? Mr. Karim, you'll remember that yesterday I asked you, and I think Commissioner Baloyi also asked you questions along the same lines. I asked you as to why Mr. Matlala had not paid directly to Mr. Maumela. And I think you didn't really have an explanation for that. Am I correct?
No, I did, counsel.
You did. All right. What was
I
the
did, Commissioner.
explanation? I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
said he insisted. And I said to him on numerous occasions, you can do it yourself. You can pay this money.
Yes.
Why do you want me to pay this money? He said, look, you need to help me. You need to pay this money. I'm under pressure. I need to pay him this money. And that was the explanation that he gave me.
That's not really an explanation. That's just an insistence that you must do it instead of him. So it doesn't really explain why you and not him. So I
Yeah.
guess that's why I was saying, and you didn't really have an explanation.
Yes.
Yes. Now, it seems to me that this gets complicated in the sense that Mr. Maumela, I'll paraphrase, of course, I will not use the exact words that you used. You said something like, Mr. Maumela said to you, this man had to pay him, and that you must pay him after you've been paid. Am I correct? Is my paraphrase correct?
No, I'm saying the arrangement was between them. And once Mr. Matlala,
I'm talking about, am I correct that there was communication between you and Mr. Maumela in relation to the payment? Am I
yes, but
correct?
before that, him and Mr. Matlala were discussing the payment.
Yeah. But now I'm talking about.
Me and Mr. Maumela, yes.
Yes, yes. And as I say, I mean, I took cryptic notes, but what I captured was you said something like this man being Mr. Matlala, must pay must pay Mr. Maumela. And also that once you have received payment from Mr. Matlala, you must then pay Mr. Maumela. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yes. So I'm saying this, in a sense, gets complicated in addition to the questions I asked yesterday. I'm wondering in my mind, Mr. Maumela already knows that he's going to be paid out of monies that have been paid to you. And I'm wondering, why is he not saying to Mr. Matlala, pay me? And did you ask, why must it be this secateurs? Why must it, instead of the direct payment, let me, as Mr. Karim, just get my money, and that's it. I have nothing to do with you. Get your money directly from Mr. Matlala. Do you have any idea why it had to be secateurs?
Like I said, Commissioner, I kept on saying to them.
Now, I'm
Yeah.
addressing between you and Mr.
Yes,
Maumela now.
it had to go. I agree that rightfully Mr. Matlala had to pay him, but like I said, they put me under pressure for me to have paid him. And I think I didn't refer to a document yesterday, and if I
Yeah.
can just take you to this document on the messages.
Yes.
So he wanted me to pay him, and at the same time, if we can just go to the messages.
Which page?
When he called me to make this payment, he then called me and said, look, I've got more invoices in, I think those invoices.
You are talking Mr. Matlala
Yeah,
now?
Mr. Matlala.
Yes.
So in order for him to make me or to force me to pay, he said to me, there's another 13 million rand going to be paid. So please, if you can pay this, and I'll see you good on the next payment. Because at that point, I was still asking, why don't you pay it directly? You can't pay it directly. He said, no, you must pay him. Please help me pay.
It would have been much easier and quicker for Mr. Matlala to pay directly to Mr. Maumela. I'm sure you would agree.
Yes, I agree, but
Yes, yes. And did you ask Mr. Maumela why the payment had to be secateurs?
according to him, he said that was the instructions from Mr. Matlala that the payment will come via me.
But did you ask Mr. Maumela?
Yes, I asked him, why don't you ask Mr. Matlala to pay
To
you?
pay you
Yes, to
directly.
pay you. Why is he paying me? He said, no, Mr. Matlala said, you're going to make the payment. So that's why I'm calling you. Please, when you receive this money, make my payment.
But that doesn't answer the question, but why me instead of directly? Did you ask that?
I've asked him. Like I've said, I've asked Mr. Maumela, Mr.
Being, yeah, you see, thing is, being told that Mr. Matlala said he will pay you and you will pay me doesn't answer the question, but why is the payment not direct? Do you get what I mean?
Yes,
Did you ask why is the payment not
I
direct?
did ask. I just didn't get a response from Mr. Matlala was just insistent. He would just be insistent. He would say, please, you just have to do this. He would not even give a reason. And I asked him, you can make this payment directly. You don't need me to pay him. Why must I pay him? And he gave Mr. Maumela the same story and said, just call Karim and tell Karim to make the payment once he
So
gets it.
you basically have no explanation from Mr. Matlala. You also have no explanation from Mr. Maumela. Did you not become suspicious of all this?
No, Mr. Matlala's explanation, like I said, he either owed, I can't remember correctly, either owed or loaned, something to that effect. So-
Earlier I asked you, and what you said was not really an explanation, and I said to you in so many words when we commenced with this debate, I said, but that was not an explanation.
Yes, he didn't give me an explanation,
So,
Commissioner.
yeah, so my question then is, you have no explanation from Mr. Matlala, you have no explanation from Mr. Maumela. Did you not become suspicious about this secretar's mode of payment and why it had to be so?
Yes, I did, but like I said, on Mr. Matlala's instructions, there was more money to come. So I didn't want to upset him so that I don't get money on the next payment.
So you say you did have a suspicion. What was that suspicion?
No, the suspicion was that why would he not pay directly? Why
What
would he
was-
want to pay me? And
What was the nature of the suspicion that you
I
had?
just-
What did you suspect?
No, I just suspected between the two of them, why were they using me? They could have just dealt directly. And then Mr. Matlala then says to me, look, there's another payment coming in of 13 million. I'll see you good there, so please just do this for me, and when the next payment comes in, I'll sort you out.
And then despite that suspicion, you just went ahead and paid as requested by Mr. Matlala.
Correct.